Welcome to Sports Connection. I'm Darrin Joins, Williamson County Schools Athletic Director. I'm here with Tate Mathews. Tate, big week, a lot of postseason implications with this week's matchup, and then our matchups. In particular, I'm thinking baseball. And then the flag football brackets are set for our tournament, which will take place May 7th.
Man, I was watching the USFL this weekend. There is going to be, May the 7th?
May 7th.
There's going to be more people in Nissan Stadium for that flag football tournament than are at the USFL games. I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Hey, listen, I know it's not WCS, but it's like we've never learned from this. Here's a little, you can just write this down, audience. The USFL won't last. For whatever reason, it's just not going to make it. We're not watching football, tackle football this time of year, the pro game. We're just not doing it. I'm not saying not some, and you wouldn't watch, because I watched a little bit of one game, and that's it. I will not watch anymore.
You watch more than I did.
It's not going to make it, is it?
I wouldn't think so.
If you can't make it with Herschel Walker, Jim Kelly, and all those guys that played in the original, then it's not making it.
Hey, let me tell you something. I was watching Sports Center. They were showing a highlight, though, of Herschel Walker with New Jersey Generals. Is that who he? Holy cow! He ran all over that league. I either didn't pay attention or I was too young. I don't know.
Doug Flutie was the QB for the Generals.
There were some great players.
Great players in that league.
Great players.
Steve Young,
Reggie White.
That was
Old boy at the Bills, 0 for 4.
Kelly.
Jim Kelly, Anthony Carter.
Michigan. He played on the Michigan Panthers too.
He was really good. Man, that's great. Hey,
so I guess I did watch that league a little bit.
Did you like the uniform contract with USFL? That would be the most, seriously, because we know a little something about that. That would be the most worrisome thing to me. No company wanted a part of that. That tells you it's not marketable.
Anyway.
They're wearing they couldn't even get starter.
Were they wearing pennies?
They couldn't get starter. They couldn't get pro kids. None of it. They couldn't get what was that?
Maybe that should have
Sterling.
been
Sterling won't even do it.
Sterling. I'm on board with Sterling.
I crossed the line.
That should have been the clown show of the week.
Man.
The USFL uniform deal.
Hey, get it.
All right, Tate, let's jump right into track. Fairview had another meet out there this past week. Had 10 teams in it, 4 from WCS. On the girls' side, Summit was 4th, Fairview 3rd, Brentwood 2nd, Franklin 1st. On the boys' side, same results, Franklin, Brentwood, Fairview, Summit. Now, to be fair, great meet, Coach Carolyn and Franklin, but Brentwood had some people that weren't there. I mean, don't get me wrong, Brentwood's B squad is better than most people, but they didn't have a full lineup. Doesn't take any away from Franklin, but Brentwood also had some runners at the Eastern Relays at the University of Louisville.
Yes, but again, you got to line up, and I would think Franklin's really working on themselves more than anything, and what they've done. You know, you can just tell. Just keep looking at the results. Franklin is going to probably have their best performance at the state track meet ever in the history of the program, would be my guess this year.
The Carolyns, when you're talking track and cross country, they've got it rolling.
They've got it going.
They work hard at it, and they're hosting the WMAA, the middle school, TMSAA. We're WMAA, our middle schools are. But the TMSAA state track meet is at Franklin High.
That's pretty big.
Talked to Coach Carolyn today. He was out there making sure the hurdles were okay for the meet.
Do you have about how many teams will be represented?
I was talking to Mr. McWhirter there from TSSAA. He said about 4,000 people end up there during the day one time or another. Not participants, but.
La Hacienda is going to be slammed.
Zaxby's. Hey, listen, Zaxby's, you might want to open up inside the store, not just the drive-through that weekend.
Yes. Bring in extra people.
Hey, I did want to mention this because I know he's a big fan of the show. I know we talk about some of these winners, but my man, Bryce Sparks, who loves the show. He follows us on Twitter. He's always making comments, big fan of WCS Athletics and the show. So, Bryce, Great job. Won the 110 hurdles. I always like to shout out those folks that support us.
Oh, without a doubt, especially our young people. And
Remember how
love to see
awesome
that.
Bryce was at the media day?
He was fantastic.
It's like, dude, that guy could give a class on how to talk to the media. It was impressive.
It was. And the 110, that's a sprint.
Yeah.
Got to jump over the hurdles, athletic, getting ready. Hey, man, multi-sport, I love it.
Love it. What about some of those girls' winners, Tate? Something did stand out to me. The 100, 200, and 400, the 4x Franklin.
Yes.
Won all three of those. That kind of stood out.
Yeah, depth.
Yeah, no question.
There's 4 per relay. Lucy Litwin, Franklin, 100 hurdles, so they swept. Franklin swept in the hurdles. She also took the long jump. Claire Colvard of Franklin, the 3,200. Sophie Yount, Brentwood, the 100 and 200. Abby Miller, Summit, the 300 hurdles. Rachel Hawes, Brentwood, 800. Nora Weaver, Franklin, discus and shot put.
She's tearing it up.
We got some really good throwers. Well, field events. We always have. We got some really
We
good
do.
field events right now. Field event performers and all over the county. And we always talk about this. I think we need to mention this about Fairview. We always talk about this with baseball, football, basketball. Shout out to Fairview, man. They could go out and have some track meets in their division and go mop up. But every time we turn this thing on, they're running against Brentwood, Franklin, Ravenwood, getting better. Iron sharpens iron.
No, I
I think
love
there was
that.
a T-shirt on that or something.
I think, and I think about my man, Coach Derrick. It's an
Where's that
advantage.
conductor hat?
It's an advantage you actually have by being in this county and being a
right.
smaller school. You know, what was our buddy Les Trotter said? You don't have to drive 500 miles to get your butt kicked. I'm not saying that's what happens, but I'm just saying if you want good competition, it's living right here in the neighborhoods.
100%.
Why go somewhere else? I think it's a smart move. on
Or
Fairview's
let them
part.
come to you.
That's right. Or in this case, come to you 2 weeks in a row.
That's right.
Brooke Till, I don't know if you mentioned Brooke, also of Brentwood, winning the 1600. On the boys' side, along with Bryce Sparks, Henry Moran, 3200 for Franklin. David Brown, Franklin, 800. Ian Newman, long jump, Franklin. Fisher Anderson, multi-sport athlete, Franklin, the discus. Brentwood sweeps the relays, and then also gets wins from Ryan Barrett in the 100, Hudson Allen in the 2 and 400, and Matthew Andrea of Fairview. We know that name.
Yes.
1600. He's got a shot when it comes to the state meet of having a great meet.
Think about this, and I know we've talked a lot about him, but that's okay. We're on the fan train. Fisher Anderson, he's already signed his scholarship to go to Stanford. He gets absolutely nothing out of this, except I think the reason he's doing it, he's helping his team. He likes being around his teammates and likes being a part of the program.
And
That's it.
what's the coolest thing he does? We saw him do it last
The
year.
unified relay. I mean, the unified track meet.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's always right in the middle of that. Just a great
Young people,
Great
pay
dude.
attention to that, please.
dude.
Yep.
He's going to make an impact at Stanford way beyond playing football.
Yes.
They don't know it, but the people on that campus, their lives are going to be changed for being around him.
That's right. Strong, but well said.
Eastern Relays. Now again, Tate, this was an invite kind of deal. University of Louisville, repping,
The stripes.
no question. So we like that. I don't know if that's why we were invited, but you had to be a pretty decent competitor, and your times had to be. It was all based on times.
Yes.
So you couldn't just sign up for this one. And I think you said it well before the show. When you look at the 3,200, what's an indicator that this was a heck of a meet?
Brody Chapman finished 13th from Brentwood. Now, that's a great, I don't know.
I think it was 90 competitors in the finals.
I was not in the Coach Bobby math class, but I wasn't in honors math class. That tells me there were 12 people that ran a faster time than Brody. Brody has ran the fastest time in the state year to date. That's a tough, that's stiff competition right there.
I would say that means there were 12 dudes
Dudes.
that finished that.
Amen. Dudes.
Shot, put, and discus.
Yes.
Shot put and discus. Mason Green, Ravenwood, 4th and 9th in the discus and shot put, which was great. And here's one I'm kind of proud of, Tate. This may be the gem of all gems.
I gotta,
Our
you
man,
have not disappointed
Our man Caleb West from Ravenwood finishes 13th in the 2,000-meter steeplechase. Now, Tate, what is the steeplechase? The steeplechase is a race where it has barriers that you have to jump over, and there's water out there too. Did you know this?
No.
There's actually water. So you want to go watch this. They're like on the track, and I don't know if they set something up, but you're jumping over barriers, kind of like hurdles, but very much like the steeplechase you see out in Brentwood in the spring.
Except you're riding on a horse.
That's right. You're running, and water's splashing everywhere. And here's maybe the best part of the gym. This first originated at Oxford University in 1879.
Do you know, is this the first time you've heard of this being at a meet?
I had no idea. I had to do a little research. When I saw it, I was like, he's 13th in the 2,000-meter SC. I looked it up. I watched a little video. I'm like, this is legit.
That's really cool.
It's
Hey,
great.
man, your gyms do not disappoint.
Paul Brees, if you're watching, don't look it up.
There's no way PB knew what that was. That's really cool. I hope he got like a cool medal or something for that. That's pretty awesome.
He probably needed a towel. I mean, I'm telling you, water splash.
It's like a Tough Mudder or something.
It's crazy. It's crazy, but really, really neat. Hey, same thing on the 3,200. You're talking about the competition. Jordan Rail, if she finishes 8th and Lydia Cromwell finishes 9th, that's a pretty good meet.
That's a loaded field for sure. And you know, your heart, your blood bleeds blue, but you're a Kentuckian, and you go up there some. Louisville's facilities now are top notch. That track,
Top notch.
that track and field facility,
Top
venue,
notch.
whatever you want, it's awesome. I bet these young people, and a lot of these young ones are going to compete in college. They got to have a top-notch college track meet experience.
No question. And really, those facilities at Louisville, it all started back with Papa John Stadium.
Yes.
Had all the chair backs in it. I mean, it's pretty nice, and then it went from there.
The Yum and their
Pretty
swimming, you know, they were not, yeah.
Sure, man.
Really cool facilities.
Sure, our man Patino had something to do with that.
I would say he swung a pretty big stick.
No doubt. Big Cat Invitational, maybe the best name of any event that we've had this year in Huntsville. The Haltermans, Janie, 3,200 champion. Julia Halterman, the 1,600, and was second in the pole vault. I thought it was kind of cool that she sort of stepped out
I
of
love seeing that.
her area. Nyla Mackey, second place in the 200, fourth in the 400. Sarah Tang, another one, is doing a great job. Shot put champion, third place discus, and then Matthew Jordan, third place in the pole vault. Here's something I think is interesting. Sometimes you think about Matthew Jordan, hadn't mentioned him all year, but I guarantee you, when he's competing in this county, he can kind of be overlooked but when then you go compete where you're the only school from WCS there, it's a little bit different.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But that's good, right?
Very good.
And then I'm not 100% on this, but I'm pretty sure we don't pole vault at every single one of our track meets.
No.
Yep.
We don't. We don't. And you know, something that's interesting, a couple of our middle schools are doing it. Brentwood's done it for years.
Have you ever tried it?
No. Why would I try that?
It scares me to death, man. I really do. Maybe not. We need to get one of our track guys on here, but I would think that that's something you probably need to learn early on in life.
I would think so.
I would think the older that I'm not trying it.
No.
But
way.
I think if you get in on that in middle school, probably
I feel like if I
chance
did
you can
that,
be more
I'd end
successful.
up backwards. It wouldn't be the not making it would be the not getting off the ground.
impale yourself. There's just a lot that can go wrong. Much respect from me to anybody who competes in that event.
100%.
Hey, real quick, I know we're getting ready to go to baseball, but this is big. The grade 8
Yes.
is Thursday night, tomorrow night. They moved it to Father Ryan. This is going to be awesome. It's going to be great. Hey, we got.
We're going to do okay.
Oh, we're going to do okay. That's why it's going to be better than the semi. But this is going to be fun, man. It's one of my favorite. It's up there with state basketball tournament, Blue Cross Bowl, baseball, all the spring fling events. It's up there, man. I love this event. It's going to be fun, and we're going to have some young people do really well.
Let's talk a little baseball.
Okay? Anything going on?
Well, at Summit, credit to Coach Kirby and Summit, they dropped the first game to Nolensville and Ethan McIlvain, which, I mean, That's what everybody does. 4-1. Then Summit comes back and wins game 2 and 3. Back to that first game, McIlvain with 11 strikeouts. Ravenwood and Franklin play again. Ravenwood 9-5. And then Ravenwood also had a 21-1 win over Columbia. But they did lose one of those 3, which gave Columbia their only win and sort of muddied the waters in the district standings.
Yes.
So if you look at the district standings, I did want to mention too, in that Ravenwood-Franklin game, Luke Koshin with the win. He had the win over Columbia. He's 6-0 in the season versus Franklin. Schmidt, Paul, Bevis, Price, all with 2 hits. Caleb Anderson, 2 for 4 for the Admiral. So let's talk about the district standings, Tate. If you look at District 12, look who's got to play each other in a 3-game series. Summit Ravenwood, Nolensville Indy, which means 4 teams other than Columbia Central could still win the league.
Yes. And as of today, it hasn't taken form yet, and it's wide open. I mean, I don't.
6-3, who we got 6-3?
Independence, Ravenwood, and Summit.
And then you've got Summit playing Ravenwood, so something's going to happen there, right? Nolensville's right behind 5-4, but they play Indy.
Correct.
Who knows?
And we got a pretty good idea they're going to take at least one of those.
Well, here's the thing, too. We were talking about this before the show. I want to ask you this. Do you care where you finish?
Yes.
Or do you want to finish anywhere but facing McIlvain in game 1?
That's why you care where you finish.
Okay.
You care where you finish.
So the order doesn't matter. Okay. It's just you want to avoid him.
Is there any way we can figure out where Nolensville is going to be? Okay, yeah. I want to be. They're going to be 4. Great. I want to be 2 or 3.
That's right.
They're going to be 1. Good. They're going to be 2. Okay, I want to be 1.
Or 4.
But hey, or 4. I mean,
if they're
because double elimination.
But you don't want to go down 1-0.
But it starts. That's right.
Well, let me ask you this, baseball coaches out there. That I'm sure there's an obvious way to do it, but we're going to talk about it like we don't know. If you're facing him in game 1, are you just going to throw off and be like, I'm pitching the 3rd guy? You got to try to win, but if you don't, it's over. But if you pitch your 3rd best and you got your best for game 2,
I know, it's tough.
What do you do?
Well, you dang sure don't fire your guy, right? We know that's out.
Right.
Yeah, I think so. But then, I don't know. Then are you messing like with the baseball?
Maybe we should call the former girls coaches at Riverdale and Smyrna.
Well, one of them is the current coach at the BDP. Man. And the other one's out of basketball coach. Yeah. So what would the equivalent of intentionally missing a free throw be in baseball?
I'm like you. I'm like you. I don't ever want to try to lose, but that doesn't feel like trying to lose. That's more about.
Yeah, no, that's strategy.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, that's tough. Well, when we talked about this with TSSAA, I feel like the state tournament has to be altered because by the end of the tournament last year, who was playing Pigeon Forge? It was like a JV game.
No, yeah, that was no good.
Because the guys couldn't pitch anymore.
Right.
I think that's got to be changed.
Remember, they had guys who had pitched like maybe 2 innings the whole year. That can't be what it's about. You're exactly right.
I hate to see single elimination, but the first round almost has to be.
Right. That's what I was going to say. I mean, that's the answer.
Something, because it's too much.
But I don't know. It's single elimination in basketball.
Right.
Wouldn't you have liked to have had another game the year Franklin and Bearden? I mean, y'all were up.
I wish we could have stopped it with 4 minutes left of the 3rd.
Why couldn't why couldn't they call the tournament off in the middle of the game like they did?
I feel like you bring that up a lot. It's like a wound that almost closes and then it kind of festers up again.
No. That's mad respect. But yeah, that's not fair. Like, at worst, y'all were the second best team.
Second best, no
in
question.
The state.
No question.
At worst.
Care what anybody says.
I agree. Who knows? Maybe if you played them again. So, like, don't get mad at me, baseball guys. But again, why do they get double?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think what they would say is, if I finish 6th, but I've got a guy like McIlvain, it's almost unfair that they put us out because he's so dominant. But if it's a series or multiple games, we're going to end up winning. So I kind of get that. It's tough. But I don't like the JV game at the end of the state tournament,
Exactly.
which is what happened last year.
And we couldn't get outs. Neither one of them could. Who was pitching forwards, right?
It was ridiculous.
All right, and you got some kid out there on the grandest stage of all, and he's getting shell shocked on both sides. That's not good.
Right.
They went all the way through the batting order like almost twice. We did. No one's voted. They just need to hire a Coach Rich. You got an open position on your executive board now. Dr. Qualls, Coach Joins, or I would be glad to be consultants, or all three of us.
Let's talk about a District 11 now. Now, something you and I talked about again before the show as we were preparing. When's the last time that you've had Centennial, who's tied for first in baseball at 7-2 with Franklin, Brentwood's at 6-3, Overton 4-5, Hillsborough 0-12, and then softball, Coach Serban and his squad sitting atop the softball District 11 standings, 7-0, Franklin second. For a lot of games to play because of rain, but that's
never happened.
certainly since I've been here. But you're saying
It's never happened.
never happened. That's exciting for them.
Oh, very exciting, and we're not softball yet, but we've talked about that. What Centennial needed was some consistency. Coach Serban's been there. You know, he's a good coach, and he's building that program, and you know that's not a coincidence. So yeah, that's never happened. Both baseball and softball been at the top. The way they've changed these districts up have a little bit to do with it, but yeah, I mean, he's 7-0.
It's nice.
I mean, you know, they've never done that. It's really cool.
Look at baseball. So Franklin 7-2, Brentwood 6-3. Let's face it, it's probably going to be one of the teams win two. It's probably not going to be a sweep. It's going to be a 2-1.
Yeah.
So let's say if that's Franklin and they end up 9-3. Well, Centennial's playing Overton. That could be a sweep. I think Centennial's going to win the district.
Centennial's got the best, is in the best position right
They
now.
are.
Franklin's not sweeping Brentwood, and Brentwood is not sweeping Franklin. Exactly what you said. Centennial, Overton, probably a 95% chance they I don't think Coach Boff would have a problem saying it. If Centennial doesn't sweep Overton, that's on Centennial.
Right. I agree. Let's talk a little softball. So, big-time game last week. Summit and Nolensville. They end up splitting on the regular season. Big senior night win for Summit. Lily Kate Richards, the winning pitcher with 5 strikeouts. And here was maybe the at-bat, the play of the game for the night. A freshman, Sanaya Hunter. She delivered a 2-run single in the bottom of the third. It was the last runs that were scored. They were down 1-0. And here's what's crazy about it. It was a 14-pitch at bat. She fouled off 10 pitches from Rylan Smith. Pretty good at bat for the young freshman.
That's strong. That could have been.
It is.
That is detailed, man. That is big time. That's awesome. Talk about tough it out. That's what she did. A freshman against maybe the best pitcher in the state.
Claudette Runk, she's back, been out the entire
season.
season.
She can't play?
Unbelievable. Golf, tennis, basketball. So her first game back against Nolensville, she goes 2 for 2, made some key plays defensively. We love Claudette, always positive attitude, loves to play every sport. She's a lot of fun. My favorite thing about Claudette was Coach Wild, I don't know if somebody said something about happy birthday or something, and she called him out and said, "Are you out eating at some meat and 3?" Totally handing it to him
on Twitter.
That's great.
That was good.
And he loved it. See, Claudette figured this out. Guys like Coach Wild got the tough exterior. When you give it to him a little bit, he likes it.
Yeah, he likes it.
And Claudette wasn't afraid to do it.
Respect.
Respect.
I misspoke. He's not a teddy bear. But
No.
He's warm and fuzzier than one would think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rylan Smith, 11 strikeouts for Nolensville. J.C. Bilbrey, Sidney Dickinson, 2 hits. Here's what was interesting. Talked to Coach Stevenson about that. If you look at the district standings, they're both 6-1. Independence is 2-3. So they're going to be 1-2. But if they tie, Nolensville gets it because of run differential.
Isn't that crazy?
I don't love run
By
differential.
1 run.
I don't love run. I guess it's okay. I guess it's fine. It's better maybe than a coin flip. But to me, when you start getting into differentials, and it's not probably going to happen in softball and baseball as much, but it promotes running up the score.
Yes.
It's like the old WCS system where it mattered with, I don't know if it even still does, but
No.
I don't think that's a good thing when
No.
you're like piling up on somebody, 25-0 because you're trying to run differential it.
Well, let's go back to softball. That would be like Franklin putting it on. Hillsboro's 0-12.
Right.
You don't want them out there trying to score 30 runs on them because of a tiebreaker. That's
Right.
not good.
Well, and it was, in defense of this system, it was run differential between those two.
Correct.
When they played.
But
2-0, 2-1.
Nolensville won their game 2-0, and Summit won their game 2-1. So it's literally by one run.
It is.
That's a tough pill to swallow if that's the way it comes down.
And neither one of them is going to lose again.
No. And what a pitcher's duel. Lily Kate
man.
Richards versus Ryland Smith. That had to have been a fun game to be at. I like runs, I like excitement, but in softball, when you have two pitchers that are just a duel, that's fun to watch.
Battle of the Woods. Brentwood 7, Ravenwood 2. Marina Mason, a 4-hitter, 9 strikeouts. She was also 3 for 5 with a double on the day, which is a pretty good night. Ravenwood got a pretty young team, struggling with their pitching a little bit. But Coach Brown and her squad, I think there's brighter days ahead. Taylor Webb, 3 for 5 RBI stolen base for Ravenwood. Thought I'd mention that because it's one of the great rivalries in the district. Speaking of rivalries, soccer, the border battle, Independence 6, Summit 0. Now, you'll notice there when you look at the goals, Tate, we had some people score, but we also had something else there at the end that showed up again.
This just keeps coming back. An own goal. Can't make it up. Would you like to? Do we need to go down that again, or
You've accidentally scored in your own goals.
not a good thing?
It's basically what happens. Elias Delaney with a couple of goals, Marcelo Garcia, Luke Munson, Wyatt Christ, Luke Tedder with 3 assists, and then the own goal.
The own goal. We need to maybe Lance can get together a highlight film of all the own goals at the end of the year. We can show them at the Wilco's.
There's no goal. There's no goal like an own goal.
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
Brentwood.
But hey, they won 6-0.
Brentwood 4-1 over Franklin. Franklin was really playing well. I think they'd won 3 in a row. Aiden Parker with a couple of goals. Jack Boring, Forrest Wells with goals. Coach Purcell, saw an article in the paper there. Tyler there at Main Street Preps did a great write-up on Coach Purcell. Had some struggles in his personal life, losing his son. But I'm telling you, it is so easy to root for him.
Love Coach P. He's, in my book, if we're talking soccer, he's the GOAT.
What was great in that article is they mentioned some of those people. Plummer from Hendersonville got mentioned. Burchett from Franklin got mentioned, and he gets mentioned in that same conversation, which is deserving.
He should be. Cares about kids, man. He's a good one, for sure. Great career, not done yet. This team sure seems like they're on a mission. I don't care what Franklin team it is. You go out and thump them 4-1 in soccer, you're pretty strong.
Brentwood's boys are going to win it.
I hope one of us does, but
They're going to win it.
I think, obviously Coach P is definitely at the end of his career. We don't know if it's going to be this year, 2 years, but it's close. I'd love for him to get one more. Be very cool.
When I saw he was 71, it actually surprised
He
me.
doesn't act like it, does he?
No.
Yeah.
He's great. Still relate. Listen, he's one of those guys. I do feel like if you're a person that doesn't get along with him, it's really a reflection of you.
I agree.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. Y'all don't get along. I don't know what happened, but it's on you. And I mean, the soccer guys are a lot like our wrestling coaches we talked about.
Yeah,
They all get along really well.
they do.
So it's
They
a pretty
do.
tight-knit sport.
Hey, let's talk a little tennis. Hadn't really talked much tennis this spring. District tournament coming up. We got Brentwood. We'll take on the girls' side. Brentwood is 1. They'll take on the winner of Page Nolensville in the district. Franklin is 2. They take on the winner of Ravenwood Indy. On the boys' side, Brentwood 1 again. Ravenwood 2. Brentwood gets the winner of Page Centennial. Ravenwood the winner of Franklin Nolensville. I love the team event, and then the individual tournament takes place later. I love the team event.
Oh, yeah, it's very fun to watch. And it'll be competitive. We got a great chance to, whoever comes out of that, same deal. You come out of that, you got a good chance when you get to the state.
No question.
Love doubles, man. From when I was a kid, I used to love to watch doubles on Wimbledon, man. Doubles fun.
A lot of fun. Girls flag football. We ended the season at Brentwood. Brentwood goes 1-1 on the day. They defeat Independence but lose to Page. Page also defeats Indy, so Page goes 2-0. Coach Rathbone and his squad playing well. Ravenwood defeats Summit 21-7 at Ravenwood. Then Centennial beats Summit. And then in the third game, a little bit of a surprise. I know Ravenwood had a couple of their big-time soccer players out. Doesn't matter. Coach Kreisky and that team, they're playing really well.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're getting better.
I think they were 0-2, then they were 1-3, and now they're 5-3, playing really well. 25-13 win over Ravenwood. And then at Franklin beats Nolensville. Fairview beats Nolensville. And then Franklin, they've really sort of dominated Fairview 19-6, which surprised me a little.
Well,
I thought it was a toss-up.
Not only that, everybody's been talking all year about Franklin. Well, they're the best defensive team. Now they're coming out and scoring 39 points in a game. Man, they're rolling. Dr. Defense has got them on point. And I think you're right. Don't know what's going to happen in the tournament. But I think as far as from the beginning to the end, who has gotten better is Centennial.
No question.
They have every week they've gotten better, and they're playing their best ball going into the end of the season.
So in 2 weeks, and we'll maybe do some pick'ems next week.
I think that'd be great.
Girls flag
Because
football style.
This has messed with everybody a little bit, right? I mean,
It has. Let's go back, though, how the season started. And we had our top four.
yes.
Franklin. I had Franklin, Ravenwood, Fairview. I think I had Brentwood 4.
You did.
But you had Brentwood 1.
You like to bring that up.
So I had them in the top 4, but I didn't have them 1. Well, we'll see about the tournament. How it goes. Touche.
I will give you this. Nobody touted Franklin before the season as much as you did. I will give you that. Now, you got to go to a private work. You got to go to a pro day and watch them, but I'll give you credit.
And I still think there's people out there that consider me a Franklin homer.
Man, you coach there. You work there.
I keep it neutral.
Of course. So that Ravenwood Fairview win last week would have been really big had Fairview beaten Franklin.
It would have been.
Really big.
But Franklin just played really well.
Yeah.
So the final standings, and when the tournament starts, we'll have Nolensville, Indy playing in the 8-9 game. The winner gets Franklin. Then we've got 4-5 will be Page Centennial. That's one side of the bracket. The other side of the bracket, you've got 3-seed Fairview playing Summit. And I'm telling you, I don't know if you want to be, that's not total great first-round game there for Ravenwood.
No.
2-7 playing Brentwood. I mean, that's a pretty rough first-round matchup.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think that's what Coach Hester wanted to see. You got to think Brentwood's going to come out and just, hey, man, we're going to throw everything at you. So that'll be pretty fun. I don't care. You want to do pick'ems?
We'll do it next week.
All right.
We'll do it next week because the tournament's 2 weeks. At Nissan Stadium, by the way.
And what
Hey,
about the weather?
Oh, it's been great.
It's been great.
Hey, one final thing, and I'm going off script here a little bit, Tate, but I know this is a guy that meant a lot to you. We lost a legend this past week, a legend in WCS, just the county in general, in high school athletics, as a legendary human,
Yes.
Jimmy Gentry, this past week. So I know a life well lived.
Oh, my goodness. And everything that he accomplished, and there's so many parts of him that people don't even know about. A lot of people know about, because of the book that was done on him in the movie. And, I don't know if you were down here yet or not, but I don't know if you remember, he gave all the proceeds to that to help, or most of the proceeds of that, to help save the Franklin Theater. So
I did not know that, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, when you go downtown and you see that, there was a time when it was in trouble, and Coach Jimmy, I think it was the movie, and he let the proceeds go to that. But just he's an unbelievable artist. Did you ever see any of his pictures?
Yeah.
But It's funny you say that. I guess I'll go ahead and say this. You don't even know this yet. We're gonna do it. My show this week is gonna be pre-recorded. It's gonna be about Coach Gentry.
Oh,
I'm
that's
telling you,
awesome.
he affected high school football on a bigger scale than I think most people even know.
Yeah, that'll be great.
But Franklin, Brentwood Academy, Battleground Academy,
Yeah.
and then Gentry Farms, just he's a legend. You said it right. He's a legend.
He's
and,
a legend.
And I don't know anybody that didn't like him.
You know,
Great man.
one of my favorite things, you weren't with us oddly enough, but it was when I was working at Franklin, we had a crew go out to lunch at the halfway market.
Yep.
I saw Coach Gentry and invited him over to sit with us. It was just great. Coach Wild was there. Coach Johnson, I think Mr. Ruth was there that particular day. And what was so neat about it to me, there was a couple things. One was they brought him his order without him ordering.
Yes.
He had the pickles in the little plastic cup. And then the best part of the thing is, when I left, I asked the lady who was taking our money there, I said, hey, Coach Gentry, does he drive here? You know, he's in his 90s. Yeah, he drives. I was like, well, where does he live? And they were like, Jimmy Gentry Highway. I was like, oh. Okay.
That's pretty good. I noticed that the staff at, I'm guessing honorary, but the staff at Halfway Market were pallbearers.
He's the man.
I mean,
He was the
that's
man.
how much he was there.
He was the man.
He's a legend, man. I think you'll find it interesting. I promise you, I don't know, and I don't think people know it, but there were some things some things that went in, you know, that took place.
Yeah.
That if they didn't, I don't know that high school football, the public, private, I don't think it looks the same in TWA if it wasn't for Jimmy Gentry.
Well, I look forward to it.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. And the other cool thing, he I know this is going long, but I think this is cool because he spent so much of his life at Brentwood Academy, but then when he lived a long life, but then when he was done and he came back and he really got, and I don't know if it was Mr. Ruth or Mrs. Dickerson or whoever, but Franklin really brought him back in,
Yeah.
and man, he really got involved in Franklin again, and he was very proud of Franklin High School.
Yeah, we're proud of him.
You agree with
too.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the folks at Franklin and really in the whole county proud of him too.
Yeah.
So looking forward to the show.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Thanks for being here, Tate.
Love it, man. Looking forward to the postseason and getting onto these Wilcos. It's going to be awesome.
And thank you for joining us this week and every week. We'll see you next time on Sports Connection.